Okay, back in the games room. So it's 8 o'clock at night. I only just got home from work and I'm absolutely tired and stuff. But you know what? I have nothing better to do while I wait for bedtime. So here's another collection video. This is my arcade stuff. Now, I have a drawer, stuff on the floor, and a couple of containers full of shit to go through. I'll try to explain some of this stuff as best as I can. I know some people don't really understand arcade hardware all that much. Hopefully I can help. I doubt it, but I'll give it a go. I'm going to start with this one. This is an IGS PGM. It's an International Game Systems Polygame Master, I think it is. I know it's Polygame Master. This is a cartridge-based system, kind of like, you know, your Nintendo or whatever else. So, you've got your jammer harness on the end. Plug it into a jammer-compatible cabinet. You put a game cartridge in, you have a game. Over here, are all the games, these big red fucking cartridges. These are, I think they're slightly bigger than Neo cartridges. Yeah, so ever so slightly bigger on the side. Anyway. So yeah, Neo Geo cartridges are as massive as they are, but this is even bigger. So they just slide in. They work really well. This is basically a clone of the Neo Geo, and for a clone it's absolutely amazing. Some of the games on it, well, at least one of the games was on it. Don't mind me pulling it out again. They're absolutely stunning. So, let's go through what I got. The left of the case, to be honest. Right, so, the Gladiator. This one, unfortunately, doesn't work. I must get around to pulling it apart and giving it a clean and whatever else, and try to get it working one day. These two here, it's Photo Y2K and Photo Y2K2. They're one of those, when I was a kid, we had these things in class where you had to sort of match the differences, find the differences between two identical photos. That didn't sound right, you know what I mean. Two games like that, it's really strange. This one, that's Dragon World 2. I have both the English and I think that's the Korean version, but I'm probably wrong. I thought to myself, Dragon World might be kind of cool. Fire it up, the graphics look awesome, there's an awesome opening cutscene, I hit the start button, it's basically Mahjong. I have never been so devastated. What is this? Knights of Valor. I'm told this one's good. I don't think I got that to work again. Oriental Legend, another one I'm told is really good. I never got that to work. Should probably take them apart and clean them, but anyway. This one. This is my favourite. This is Demon Front. Cat scratching the door. This is basically a Metal Slug clone. I've put a video up about this before. Go watch it. This game is fucking awesome. After that video, I discovered that I was playing it wrong. Whereas you could use this charge attack, which was pretty awesome. That was silly of me. Yeah, so I'm disorganised again, big surprise. So yeah, that's the IGS PGM. They're not cheap, and most of the time they're broken. But they're really easy to fix, and they're really worth it just for Demon Front, to be honest. Alright, next up. I got two Neo Geo motherboards. Make a little bit of room. I'm sorry if I'm making everyone dizzy again. So, this is the Neo Geo. If you don't know a lot about Neo Geo, you got the Neo Geo MVS, which is multi-video system. That sounds wrong. Anyway, that's the arcade version. Then you have the AES, the Advanced Entertainment System. That's the home version. What you'll find is, for the most part, MVS carts are a lot cheaper. That's why the consoleized MVS market has taken off a little bit. But the games are basically the same. And there's no reason really to buy an AES rather than to say I have an AES, because the games are super expensive. Anyway, this is MVS, it's a 1A, MV1A. It's a single slot board, so your jammer harness. Put a cartridge in, grab. Oh my god. King Fighters. Oh, I got an upside down. The label's on upside down on that one. Yeah. So that's going through your jammer harness now. Now, let me move on to this one. This is an MVS 2 something. It was MV2. This is the same thing, except it's a 2-slot. So, get that one, and that one. And if you have a Neo Geo cabinet, you'll have a a button to change between the games. I've kind of installed one with a couple of frayed wires here, but the main difference is this is a jammer looking connector. If you plug it into most jammer cabinets, it will blow the soundboard on it because the way it's hooked up. But my cabinet's hooked up so that ground for the speakers is common ground. It doesn't go off the board, so this one actually works okay in my cab. But this is one of the better MVS motherboards to consoleize because of the fact that it already has controller ports. Already has, that's volume and headphone sliders. Then you have a headphone jack, and a memory card jack, all built in already. So this one's awesome to consoleize. I was going to consoleize it, but I may have sold this one off to buy a Neo Geo cabinet, which is finishing this week. So hopefully I get that off eBay, but I'm going to paint this up nice. It's all scratched up, a bit rusted. Paint it up nice, and I don't know, I might get make a consoleize unit that doesn't wreck the aesthetics of it. We'll see. Games I got: King of Fighters 2002. Not a fan of fighters, so whatever. Got a multi-cart. They actually work really well, this multi-cart, but I hate multi-carts, to be honest. I hate emulation. So anyway, NAM 1975. It's kind of like what is the game? Sunset Riders, I want to say, in the way it plays, but I'm not a fan of that one either. Metal Slug 3, which you probably can't see through that. But Metal Slug 3, awesome holographic label. And I got the mini marquee. So you have, if you have a dedicated Neo Geo cabinet made by SNK, it'll have a little gap for these. And when you switch through the games, it lights up the different ones. That's pretty freaking cool. I also got, I think, one over here. Yeah. So I got a shock box for it. For some reason, it's Metal Slug 2, Metal Gear Solid. I like the shock boxes. They look really cool on the shelf. And if you get all, because they're custom ones, if you get all 6 Metal Slug games, you get a nice, I don't know what the word is, picture. It's not great for my English, is it? I'll pack that up in a minute. So yeah, Neo Geo, another awesome system. We'll get it out of the way. I just realised this is not all my stuff. Here's a couple more Neo games as well. This is Art of Fighting 2. I don't know how well you can see that. Got the mini marquee, it's faded as shit, and a little like a manual kind of thing. And this is the way they came, the Neo games, the MVS games. They came in a little box like this that have, yeah, like that. Have the sticker on the front. Yeah, so this is 8-man, as you saw. Another one I got only because it was cheap and it was complete. So to get around to playing that one day. I looked at it, it looked pretty cool. So into more boards now. This is something cool. Actually, this is the first, excuse me, first arcade board I actually bought. This is Tetris. From 1988. Yeah. Really good game. The guy sold it really cheap because it was, apparently the sound wasn't working. Turns out the sound was just off in a tracked mode. And on top of that, he turned the volume down and didn't realise. So, good for me. Manual. Crap. What is this? I actually don't remember what half these games are, to be honest. It's kind of hard to tell because it's not like they have a case. This is Ladybug. This is a bootleg of Ladybug. Ladybug is a rip-off of Pac-Man. I first played it. I remember this one vividly because this is another game that my family all got into. Even my mum. My mum would play this game with me. That's why I really wanted to get this game. I've got my cocktail cabinet outside. This is what will be going in there because it's got a cocktail switch on it. And this is not a standard jammer harness, as you can see. So I've made a what's the word for it? Converter, I guess. So it plugs into a jammer harness. Yeah. What do we got here? Oh, I wrapped these up in a lot of bubble wrap. This one I can already tell what it is, but I'll get it out anyway. This is The Simpsons. I spent quite a bit of money on this game just because of the fact that I played it as a kid, but I never finished it. That always frustrated me, so I wanted to get it and play through it. The problem with this is if you want to play with anyone else, but I think it's Homer and Marge, you have to have a 4-player cabinet because the coins go into a certain player. You don't have to choose your player at the start. Very stupid design, but oh well. Yeah, that was about $150. That one, I think I paid for that, so it wasn't cheap. I probably shouldn't wrap them back up again while I'm talking to you guys. More shitty manuals. Yeah. I actually don't know what that is. That's either 1942 or 1943. I don't know. I really should label this shit, but I'm not even going to open that one up because it doesn't work properly. And this is 1943. Once again, I'm not going to open it. And they've got some manuals down the bottom. Anyway, on to the next one. I got some more cool stuff in here, I believe. This is a another cartridge-based system. This one I kind of do want to get out. It's not bloody working for me, is it? See? Pays to be organised. Good thing I'm not getting paid for this. There we go. Probably shouldn't do this on carpet either. Oh well. Apologise again if I'm getting you dizzy. This is a Super Canico Nova motherboard. I had never heard of this. I only got it because it was cheap and it had a game called Puzzle Loop on it, which looked kind of cool, which is ta-da. So that just slides on there. It's a cool looking cartridge. I got another game. I got no fucking idea what that is. I don't remember. Oh, I'm good at this thing, aren't I? What do we got? If you want to see someone with a really cool arcade collection who's actually got it catalogued properly, go to Luke Morse's channel. I shouldn't need to advertise him, but I'm going to anyway. Alright, this one I have a cool story about. This is... I actually labelled this one. This is X-Men. Oh, excuse me. There are 2 versions of this game. There's a 4-player version, and there's a 6-player version. This is the 6-player version. So on top of the jammer harness, which handles player 1, player 2, and screen number 1, you have player 3, player 4, player 5, player 6, and screen number 2. That's just insane. This is a dual screen game. I only got it because it was a dual screen game. I have no real interest in the X-Men game. It's cool looking, just a standard beat 'em up though. But 6 players, 2 screens, yeah, I think I have got some interest in that now. More crap. Okay. So here's another cartridge-based system. Just pretty much, these are the biggest cartridges I've ever seen in my fucking life, but this is a... I'll take the top off. Let's put it down for a second. Oh, shit. Okay, so this is the Capcom CPS2 motherboard. There are 3 versions, the black, the blue... Sorry, the grey, the blue, and... I don't fucking remember. But they all look the same, except for the colour, obviously. They got the jammer harness, which is awesome. You have a kick harness. A kick harness is... Because jammer can only support 3 buttons, or 4 buttons if you're SNK. If you have games like Street Fighter that require 6, you require external plugs. So this has got the kick harness, because, you know, the top 3 buttons are kick in Street Fighter, so kick harness. And stereo out, because jammer does not support stereo out either. And that's the motherboard. This thing is, like, in comparison, like, Neo Geo cartridges are huge. And it just dwarfs it. So, yeah, it's fucking massive. And, yeah. So I got 2 of these motherboard. One doesn't work. The, got rusted out wherever that was sitting last time. I'm pretty sure it's this one, because that one's nice and clean and that one's a bit rusted. You can see that. But yeah, I got some cool games. This is Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors. Haven't played that one yet. Seems to be the story of the day. Another Darkstalkers. One of these is Street Fighter Zero with a different label. I don't know which one's which. Marvel Superheroes vs Street Fighter. Wolverine vs Ryu. That's just fucking amazing. And last but not least, this is Dungeons and Dragons Tower of Doom. There are 2 Dungeons and Dragons games on the CPS2, and they're bloody awesome. So I've got one. The other one's about $200 on its own, or ish. So that one can stay there for now. Okay. I believe this is another cartridge system, but I could be wrong. My nice pink bag. Oh, I was wrong. What is this? Any guesses, anyone? What the fuck is this? Mystery. Next. Another cartridge-based system. Yay! This is the Sega STV. I believe this was the precursor to the Naomi. It's based off the Saturn hardware, Sega Saturn hardware. So this is about as powerful as a Sega Saturn, and to be honest, it kind of looks like it. But the cartridges are really cool looking. Nice and big. I like these kind of things. They look really nice on a shelf. Look even better in a cover, but whatever. They just sort of plug into there. The guy I bought this off was he was getting rid of it because he wanted to build a main PC, and the only thing he wanted out of the case he had a complete arcade machine. He just wanted the control panel. Like, that's weird. So he goes, "Do you want the screen?" It was like a detachable unit. Cool, I have a screen. So got the screen, got the game board, I got the arcade, game, and the motherboard for quite cheap, so that was good. So I got Die Hard Arcade. It looks like balls. Columns 97. It's columns. And Winter Heat, which is awful. Kind of like Sports Jam. And my floor's starting to get a bit full. What else we got in here? Okay. So, this is... Oh, I forgot I had this one, to be honest. Good. Oh, sorry, talking to myself again. This is another cartridge system. This is the CPS-1. Now, the only difference between the CPS-1 and the CPS-2, which are these big ass things, these ones have cases. And, sorry, those ones have cases. These ones don't have cases. Changing the game board is a bit of a bitch, because you feel like you're going to snap the things in half. And on top of that, these things had an awful way of encrypting the game things. So you'd have the A board, which is your motherboard, which I'm not pointing at my finger. You'd have the B board, which is the game board. Sorry, and you'd have the C board, which is the coprocessor, which also decrypts the games. If you have the wrong C board, the game doesn't come up. In the later games, they had this awesome thing where they stick a suicide battery in it, which I didn't talk about with the CPS2, but I will now. Basically, a suicide battery is exactly what it sounds like. When the battery goes dead, the game suicides. It kills itself. You can't use it anymore. Now, for the most part, there's a guy named Razula. He also made the UniBIOS, or the Universe BIOS for the Neo Geo. Awesome, talented programmer. He unsuicided the CPS-1s and the CPS-2s. What a fucking genius. So, yeah. This board I actually had to reprogram some of the EEPROMs, as you can see, because they weren't working. I got about 20 CPS-1 main boards in games that all weren't working. I managed to resurrect, I think, 4 with very little problems. The other ones require a bit more effort, and I didn't want to put it in at the time. So, yeah. CPS-1. There was a CPS-3, which is like a CD-based and cart-based system, and I don't have that, because I think the only decent game on there was like Street Fighter 3, and I'm not a Street Fighter fan. So what is this? This is Namco System 10. This is another cartridge kind of based system where they got this little cartridge thing on top. I got this for $5. That's the only reason I have it. It was $5. I got this. I got Sports Jam for the Naomi. I got Winter Heat for the STV. And I got... what else did I get? I got something else awful. For $5 each. This is a... I think it's like a quiz game. But yeah, $5. At the very least, I'd have some parts or something. Or if I found some other System 10 games. And this is another CPS-1 cart, I believe. Yes, this is Final Fight, I think. That's the only other game I managed to resurrect. Yes, it's Final Fight. Oh, I'm sorry. Camera's making me a bit sick. Just gonna put you on my cartridges. That probably didn't help. Lots of stuff. There we go. Put it down the right way. So you can see the there's a slight difference in the C board, which is the top one here, in that one and this one. This is one of the earlier ones, so there's less crap in it. But yeah, this is Final Fight. See? There's another game I resurrected with very, very easy, with relative ease. My words are not working. But yeah, that's pretty much all my arcade stuff. But on top of this, I've got Point Blank 1 and 2 in my Point Blank cabinet. I've also got NBA Jam in my Astro City. And I also have a Naomi system, which you've seen the video on, that's also working too. If you've ever seen a Naomi... Don't mind me. Anyway, this is a Naomi case. I actually quite like the cases. They're nice and thick, but they don't have a like a plastic receptacle to put a label in, so I'll have to do something about that. And you got the game, and you got a security IC, which is basically a decryption code for the game, which someone apparently broke with like real easily. So all these games are now decrypted, and if you have an appropriate set of hardware, you can play it on compact flash drives or straight off a network PC, which I plan on doing. I'm trying to look for the hardware now, but it's a bit hard to find for cheap, and I am cheap if nothing else. Maltese after all. Yeah, I kind of made a mess of my room here, but yeah. If you have any other questions about this kind of stuff, let me know. I do love talking about arcade stuff, and as you can imagine, arcades are kind of a eclectic kind of thing to collect, and not many people have them, so I don't get to talk about it a whole lot. So if you want to have a chat about some of this stuff, hit me up, PM me, send them, leave a comment, even give me a thumbs down and I'll tell you you're a jerk. Yeah, one more thing I will talk about on the subject of the Neo Geo. Mind my steps. I retrieved this from my mum's place. I had everything sitting there for a while because I was moving house. This is a kidney controller, kidney bean controller. As you can see, it's a kidney. It's kind of hard to see on black, but yeah, kidney bean controller. These are awesome controllers. The thing about these ones is these Neo controllers plug straight into the Neo MV2, which is why they're awesome to consoleize, which is why if you make a super gun, you always stick a DB15 plug on the end. DB15? Yeah, DB15. I don't know why I did that. I've been rambling for 23 minutes. I hope you got at least some enjoyment or some knowledge out of this. If you didn't, once again, let me know. I will try my best to make them better, but it's me, so they're not going to get much better after all. I do plan on making some reviews on this stuff. If for anything else, it's a good excuse to play it. As I said, a lot of this stuff I was collecting when I really didn't have enough time to play it. And now I have less money to spend and more time to play stuff, which is a good, I guess. But yeah, one game I do really want to play is this one, Tower of Doom. And I want to get the other one's Shadow of Mystara. I want to get that one as well. That looks awesome. But yeah, that is my arcade collection video. I don't think I've actually missed anything this time. I hope you enjoyed it. If not, I am very, very sorry for wasting this much of your time. Why did you watch this much if you weren't enjoying it? Yeah. Alright, I'll see you guys later. So, I couldn't figure out what this board was, so I plugged it into my super gun. I'm like, it looks a lot like a Tetris board. Funny thing, it's a Tetris clone. It says Xionyx. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Hey, the cat. What are you doing? Anyway, I believe this is a bit glitched. Hello. Yeah, kind of works. You've got to work on that one as well. Oh, I just want to record the cat forever. Anyway, so, yeah, just wanted to say that. No one cares. See you later.